I'm going to share 3 steps to raise an emotionally intelligent child because, as conscious parents, we want to raise children that are good on the inside, that they're not just appearing successful, but that they feel successful, they feel peace, they feel connected, they feel secure. So, we're going to talk about how to build emotional literacy in kids. We are going to talk about how to help them, and not just that, we are going to go to step 2 and 3, which is something that a lot of parents miss, even the ones who are trying to do conscious parenting. And you're going to discover very soon what it is, being the third one, the most crucial one, I would say. If you are new to us, welcome. This is HIC Parenting Education's YouTube channel, and we are committed HIC parenting coaches with the mission to help you go from frustration, from I have the script in my head, but conscious parenting is not transferring to my parenting, to you confidently, peacefully, and consciously raising your kids on a daily basis. If that is you, consider subscribing. Okay, so let's talk about emotional intelligence, because this is something that we work with our coaching clients in HIC Parenting Education. So, how many of you have seen in social media the parent teaching the child about emotions, and they flip over some emotion feelings book that shows the little faces when you feel angry, when you feel sad, when you feel scared, yet there is no context. The child sees the different faces, but there is no context about the faces. Their feeling is not there, so the context is not there. And even though that's better than nothing, then it is not that effective because, again, it lacks context. So, when it comes to emotional literacy, which is the ability of naming my emotions, understanding what's happening in my body, and naming my emotions, then context is key. And how I said, with our clients, we determine the main struggles that these parents have with their kids, and what are the common emotions that children may go through during those times, because a lot of the time children's outbursts is just a sign of there are many things going on in my body and I don't know what it means, even though you showed me a flashcard with a sad face 10 minutes ago that had no context. So in this context, I don't know what all these feelings mean. So part of us building that emotional vocabulary is in context, to walk our children through their emotions. Oh, your face is red and your fists are clenched. You might be feeling really angry. You might be feeling really upset. You might be feeling happy. It's not just about naming uncomfortable emotions, but for our children to see when they're excited, when they're happy, when they're surprised, when they're thankful, when they feel proud of themselves. So that's step 1, feeling literacy, teaching in context. Number 2, how to work through those feelings, because I see in social media as well, and a lot of our clients who come to HIC parenting, they come from being educated online, and then they teach their kids about naming the emotions, but then they stay there. The next step is teaching them how to process those emotions, how to work through those emotions. And by the way, I'm going to create another video soon telling you how to build emotional regulation skills. But for now, what I want to tell you is, don't stay with just naming the emotions or your children understanding and being able to say what their emotions are, but how to deal with that anger. When I feel angry and I want to punch you on the face, what can I do to process that anger? I'm not saying to get rid of the anger. I'm not saying to not feel angry, because that's not emotional intelligence either, to try to bypass the emotion. It's about what to do in that anger, how we can express that anger a little, but in a different way that is not punching somebody on the face, right? So it could be many different things. I did foster care for a long time. One of my children in foster care, he was diagnosed with mood disorder. So he lived a lot of anger and aggression. And then with the time, he learned to process that anger. Now he's an adult and he loves going to the gym. And that's the healthy avenue that he found with my help. When he was a little boy, we will work out his anger through physical activity. And now he loves going to the gym. And that's a way that he helps regulate his emotions and maintain his emotional health without going to self-destructing behaviors such as getting an addiction, such as getting in toxic relationships, and other things that we do in an attempt to process our emotions when we don't have emotional skills yet. So, number one, help them understand and name their feelings in context. Number two, process those feelings. Not so those feelings are dismissed or we brush over those feelings, but so they're able to truly feel those feelings in a more secure way. And then, number three, the third thing that we do with our clients, and this is a 14-week program, the last 4 weeks is focused on going beneath those behaviors, going beneath those feelings either, and seeing what the need is. Because every behavior communicates a need. I think that if you're a conscious parent who follows parenting accounts, you may heard this somewhere. But a behavior doesn't only communicate a need, a feeling communicates a need. When I feel angry, a lot of the times that anger communicates that our boundaries are being crossed. One of our boundaries was crossed. So I need to set those boundaries. So in your child's case, what is the need that they're communicating? Because it isn't until we solve the need that those feelings will continue reappearing if we don't solve the need. We don't meet that need. So, in the last 4 weeks of our coaching program, our coaches work side by side with our clients to go into that child's particular emotional landscape and see what those feelings are and what the needs are. And from there, we develop a plan to meet those needs. So, those behaviors and emotions don't arise as often. In the case of my son in foster care, yet he does have mood disorder. Nevertheless, there was always a trigger, and it was always related to his perceived safety. He was in foster care for a reason. So there were little things such as leaving the windows open that trigger a trauma for him. And then it triggered his disorder, his anger, and so on and so forth. So when I unveiled what that need was, and I started meeting his survival need for safety, then that anger, those outbursts started to diminish. And that's how our graduates are able to curb so many behaviors easily because they don't stay on the behavior, they go and unveil those needs. At first, because we were not raised with emotional intelligence, it's hard. But as the program goes and they work with their coach and the coach sheds light onto their children's needs, they start seeing patterns and they start seeing their children beneath all those behaviors, beneath all those outbursts. So, my question for you is, what is your child's main feeling? How can you teach them in context to name those feelings? Let me know in the comments. And if you relate to, like, I wish I had the help that you're talking about working with a coach directly, that sounds amazing. And the results have been profound. I'm going to show you one of them. She allowed me to share this with you guys. But it's worth it when I see a 5-year-old act like more mature than an adult. I'm like, wow. So this is one of our coaching clients who finished her process with her coach, and she's seen that her 5-year-old has more emotional skills than many adults that you see in life. Because she learned these principles and not just learned them, but she now is applying them with the help of her coach at first. Now she can do it on her own. So if you want to apply for coaching, all you have to do is go to apply.hicparenting.com, or there is a link in the description. Fill out your application, and at the end, if you do qualify for our coaching, we will show you our calendar where you get to book a complimentary call with a member of our team so you can start this process of learning about your child's their needs and how to build emotionally intelligent children. Thank you so much for being here, and remember that it only takes understanding to transform your parenting. You watched all the way to the end, and I'm going to give you a gift for that. Scan this QR code and give us your best email. You're going to access a free class with the ultimate tools that has helped so many of our clients go from reactivity and frustration to peace and connection with their kids.